Okay, this is Fan Hospital, and today we're going to be doing the tier list of something which is over here, which are elite stuff. And elite stuff are always way better than normal stuff because they have special skills, they have exclusive equipment, and they start with a way better ability, charm, efficiency, and max energy attributes. So yeah, they are really useful. I think that whatever elite stuff, you are going to be great with it because they are way better than normal stuff. But today we're going to be discussing and ranking which stuff are best, which stuff might be right for you, and which stuff I would recommend for newer players who are thinking of buying a new stuff. So this is the tier list for 2025, which is near November. So I will update it if we get newer elite stuff. But yeah, this is going to be the tier list. So let's get right into it. Okay, so this is the tier list, and first up we have Dr. Squid, which he starts with 68 ability points, 4 of charm, 25 efficiency, 110 max energy, and the skill for cosmetology at level 3. His special skill gives him 1.5 times the ability point of points to the patient from emergency, challenge mode, tournament, and tier competition, which is basically really good because mostly you're going to be focusing on the union and the competition. So when you have to do the tier competition, that's going to be a plus. But I think that there are a lot of elite stuff that might be a priority for you. So I think that this one is a great option, but I would buy him like last because he's 580 diamonds, which is a lot if you are watching daily ads, and just the ads it's about 58 days, maybe a little bit less if you are considering other things. But yeah, I think that it's going to be really hard to get him. You're going to have a lot of usage for the stuff, so you are getting your diamonds worth basically. And talking about his special ability, when you upgrade him with crystals, instead of 1.5 ability it's 1.6, which I think it's not a big deal. So I wouldn't recommend upgrading the ability right away because there are other stuff or list stuff that might need it more than him. So yeah, in my opinion, I think that it's great. You get a lot of value for the 1.5 times ability for patients, but you have to consider that you're going to be only using it in competitive modes. So for example, when you're treating your daily stuff or whatever, you don't get the ability. But I think that someone that is really good at the game would only use their stuff to complete tasks when it is needed. For example, in the union, in the tier competition. So I think that he's between an A and a B, but for newer players I think that it's more towards a B because of the price, and his exclusive ability or equipment is not that great for about 500 crystals. So yeah, I think that he goes into a B. We have Florence 2, which is I think the best stuff, if not one of the best for anyone that is starting on the game. She has 60 ability, 8 of charm, 25 efficiency, and the most important, attribute 999 max energy. She starts with a skill of pharmacy level 2. Her special skill is that she never gets tired, and her exclusive equipment ability is that for every 5 minutes she gives 10 energy and 10 mood points to another staff member that is next to one of her rooms. Florence too, I think, is the first or second lead staff that you should buy, because when you're starting, the fact that she never gets tired is basically broken. It's so OP, and in the mid late game she's still very good, and I think that you need her basically. It's a great elite staff. She's, I think, 320 diamonds if I'm not mistaken, and her exclusive equipment ability, I don't think it's really necessary. So you're just great buying her and nothing else, and yeah, I think this is one of, if not the best elite stuff for newcomers. But I don't think it's the best, because up until, let's say, early to mid game, she's really useful, and then after that she's obviously still very useful, but you're going to be you're going to see more of an impact from other elite stuff than from her. So I think we can say that she corresponds to an A tier, in my opinion, like just from priority and early game, and because of the price, I think she's amazing. Okay, this is the best stuff in my opinion. So basically, BJ is the best in general, in my opinion. 80 ability, 5 of charm, 18 efficiency, and max energy 100. And his special ability is super amazing, because when they're going through operating room, he has 100% chance to cure any patient that go there. So he will lose energy according to the patient's process of cure. But basically, if for example a patient, I don't know, it's you need 1500 ability, and your BJ has, let's say, 500 ability or less, what is going to happen is that BJ is going to waste all of his energy to cure that patient, and then he will have 0, and then he's going to rest to recover his energy, and then he's going to work again. So yeah, basically what you're getting is any patient that goes through operator room will never die, and I think that's completely broken. He's rather expensive. I think he's between 550 diamonds, I think, and he starts with a level skill of 10 for operating room. I think he's completely broken. He might be the best stuff in the game. It even works when you're completing unit tasks. For example, the super tasks. If you catch with a task that requires a patient to finish their treatment in operating room, basically you are guaranteeing yourself of curing all of the patients, because the patients will never die. The only problem is that he will get tired very frequently, so you're going to be needing to move him to a staff room to rest, and that's the only problem, I think. But something really broken is that you don't even need to put ability into him. The only things that you might need are efficiency and max energy. You can put ability so that he doesn't get that tired often, but I think that you have to use his skill at its fullest. So yeah, I think that he's completely broken. I don't know about early game, because in early game you won't get the operating room so earlier. So I think that you have other stuff as a priority. And I think BJ is completely broken in mid to late game. So yeah, I think that BJ, in my opinion, is an S, because having that ability to treat patients with a success rate of 100%, and his exclusive equipment is not that bad also, because instead of losing um, um, that much energy for treating a patient, he will instead lose 50% of that energy. I think that it's really good, maybe better than the other ones we have talked about in terms of the exclusive equipment, but I don't think it's a priority. I think that you are good enough with the special skill that BJ has, so I think an S tier is well deserved. He has 60 ability, 20 charm, 21 efficiency, and 120 max energy. His special skill is that when a patient goes through acupuncture, they're going to give he's going to give him 1.6 times of his ability, and his exclusive equipment is that instead of 1.6 he's going to give 1.8. I think he's a great staff, elite staff. I don't think he's a priority. He's going to help a lot with the pneumonia patients, because they are really annoying when you just access them. So when you need to treat lots of pneumonia patients, he's going to help a lot, but I don't think he's really that necessary. What you have to do is always prioritize depending what you need for one, or depending on your case, you're going to prioritize another elite staff. So considering that, I don't think Master Wong is really necessary. You can have a good cure rate of those patients that go through acupuncture without him, but I think he's useful enough, so I have him because I had a hard time with pneumonia patients, so I needed him because of the ability, and I also needed an elite staff. Something important to know is that there is no wrong elite staff, there's no bad elite staff, so you can buy whichever you want if you like him, but I'm just telling you which are the better ones, or which one you might prioritize than other ones. So I think Master Wong is basically in the mid-range tier list, maybe upper, depending on how you use him, but I think that he's a well-deserved B tier, just considering that he gets that ability just in acupuncture, and it's not like BJ that he guarantees to cure them, so he just gives the patients 1.6 times of his ability, but I think it's still awesome and great, and he's about 420 diamonds, which is rather expensive compared to other elite stuff, so yeah, that brings him a little bit down. We have Yuki, which has 60 ability, 10 of charm, 40 efficiency, which is really important and pretty good, 130 of max energy, and her special skill is she flashes to the location where she wants to go. So she basically, if she goes between resting and going to where she works, she's going to teleport between those two, or wherever you put her, and I think it's a nice ability, doesn't have that much of an impact, but it's good because you can, for example, go from one point to another really quickly, so it saves time. But I don't think it's that useful. And her exclusive equipment ability is that she now teleports her patients to the place they want to go, which I think is actually really good compared to the normal special skill. So I think that if you're going to have Yuki, you need that exclusive equipment, but I wouldn't prioritize getting that exclusive equipment apart from other ones that we're going to cover in this video. But I think it's actually pretty decent. It's really cheap, also 250 diamonds. It's a nice option for someone new, so I think I'm going to put it on in a B tier because it's reliable. The 40 efficiency is amazing because you can put every attribute into ability, and the special skill is not that bad because it saves time. He has 68 ability, 22 of charm, which is a lot compared to other elite stuff, 18 efficiency, 90 max energy, and he has the special skill of basic diagnosis, level 4, and his special skill is that he gives 20%, no, he has a 20% chance to give patient a hug that will obviously keep providing them mood points. And his exclusive equipment is that patients who are hugged won't die if they are unable to get cured. Okay, I think this is not that great of an elite stuff, because in my opinion stuff that is really dependent on charm, so for example and stuff that is going to have their special skill and exclusive equipment towards charm, I think it's not great, because charm is not that necessary. I mean, it's an aspect, an attribute that you need to have, but it's not necessary. There are other stuff that might have better skills, better stats, better attributes. So I think Big White is good for late game, not for early game or mid game. He's not that necessary. I think he's good for runs if, for example, you're trying to get 100% cure rate. I think he's right for that, but otherwise he's not great. So considering that and the cost, which is a lot for 120 diamonds, I'm putting him in the C tier. Now Yutu, which I think is one of the most important ones. She has 60 ability, 20 of charm, 20% efficiency and 90 max energy. Her special skill is that she is going to give an extra 20% ability to patients in pharmacy. So obviously you're going to need to put Yutu in pharmacy. And her special or exclusive equipment is that you have 10 elixirs every day, and when a patient in pharmacy is failed to be cured, she's going to use one of that elixir to cure the patient. So you have 10 every single day, and if a patient is not cured, she's going to cure them, but will be using that elixir. So I think Yutu is really high up because of the exclusive equipment ability, because it's similar to BJ, but it's not always, it's only 10 per day. But Yutu is really useful. You need to have her in your hospital. I think that is one of the most important ones. I think Yutu is useful in mid game to late game. So early game you're not going to see that much of an impact, but in mid game to late game, yeah. When you have those Mr. No More patients, Yutu is the one who is going to cure them always. So you need to have her basically. So I'm putting her in an A tier just because of the exclusive equipment ability. I know she's really expensive because she's 500 diamonds, but I think she's some elite stuff that you will need. Now we have Nako. She has 55 ability, 20 of charm, which is a lot, 23% efficiency, 105 max energy. She starts with the skill of Lavatory, which is level 4, and her special skill is that she will provide happiness to male patients by 1.5 times of her charm. I think this is one of the worst elite stuff that are out there, because as I said, charm in this game is an attribute that is needed of that useful. It's not really competitive. So for example, if you are doing union tasks, if you are going to the tier competition, I think it's not that noticeable. I mean, it might save you from some patients not leaving the hospital because of mood, but it's not useful in my opinion. So I think it's an avoid. So you have to avoid her, and I know she's rather cheap, 350 diamonds, but still I don't think it's that useful. So in my opinion, there are better ones. You should avoid her. If you want to buy her because you have the diamonds, or you like her or whatever, it's not bad. It's better than, as I said, the normal stuff, so you can't go wrong with any elite stuff. But in my opinion, she goes to D tier. She's not useful, she's not that good. As I said, charm in this game is an attribute that every patient and every elite staff have, but it's not a priority. Now we go to Victor. He has 60 ability, 5 of charm, 20 efficiency and 70 max energy, which 70 max energy, I have him, was very noticeable at the start because 70 max energy is not that great. It's really low, but he has a nice special skill which when treating any patient, he will give them a lot of speed for a short time, and his exclusive equipment is that that speed will last 3 times longer than usual. And I think he's nice. He has a nice skill because basically you have an elite staff which has the ability to give patients the speed up rune, which obviously speeds up patients, which is basically what Victor does. But yeah, I think he's nice. I think he's useful. I think that you can get a lot out of him. I think that he can be pretty nice in a hospital where you need, for example, someone on GP office. If they are really stuck there, you can have Victor because they are going to get quickly out of there, and then no patients will be standing waiting. So yeah, I think in my opinion he's I think for 120 diamonds, so he's kind of expensive, but he will go to B tier because of the ability is nice. We have Adam, which is basically the same for Nako, but he's a doctor, and his special skill is for female patients. But he has 55 ability, 20 of charm, 25 efficiency, 120 max energy, and a skill level of 1 for X-ray. I think Adam is the same as Nako, D tier, because he is not that useful. As I said, charm in this game is not necessary. If you have, for example, if you have a positive charm value, it's okay. It's okay as that. If you have a negative one, yeah, then you can try to bring it to positive. But if not, it's not necessary. So I think that he's going to go to D tier as Nako. It's not useful. It's not great. I think it's bad. Basically, it's not a good elite stuff. Now we have Nightingale. She has 65 ability, 15 of charm, 30% efficiency, 130 max energy, which is kinda awesome, and a skill level of 10 for ward. In my opinion, I think Nightingale is a nice elite stuff. I think she's better to be on D tier. She's very underrated because a lot of people don't care about her or say that she is the worst elite stuff. But considering that she starts with a level 10 skill of ward, that's actually awesome because it saves a lot of time and money, because you need to study for them to have a skill in a specific room, and basically Nightingale already has that and at the maximum level, so I think that's awesome. And her exclusive equipment ability is that she will no longer lose energy when treating patients, but instead the energy will go down with time. So that's also a nice skill instead of because in ward you have 4 spaces for 4 patients, so Nightingale normally would lose 4 of her energy when treating those patients, but instead she will lose maybe 1 and treat those 4. I don't know if that's if I explained it well, but yeah, basically I think she's okay. She's not a priority, so I think that she's okay in the mid game. But yeah, I would buy her if you really want that skill because it's nice, and if you're maybe going to buy that exclusive equipment because yeah, it's good. But I think it's way better than a D tier, but not maybe as good as B tier, so I think C tier is alright. Now we have Morgan, which I think is a really hard one to put on the tier list. He has 100 ability, 10 of charm, 15 efficiency and 100 max energy. He has a lot of ability. His special skill is that for every 10 minutes you can select a patient who has passed the reception room, and you will cure them directly. This is a hard one because if we are considering tier competition, in every wave you have a certain time. In the first wave you have 15 minutes and then it goes a little bit down to the lowest, which I think is 10 to 12 minutes. So considering that you are going to maybe use once the ability when you are doing tier competition, which is completely horrible and useless. You are paying 600 diamonds to use the ability once in tier competitions in the 3 waves. In the 3 waves you will use it once in every wave, so a total of 3, which is horrible. If you have the exclusive equipment that it makes it, instead of 10 go down to 6, it's still a hard problem because now instead of being 3 times for the tier competition, you will use it twice in the first wave, twice in the second wave, and you will not have enough time to use it twice in the third wave. So in total, a usage of 5. I think it's not good. If you are using it for union, then it can maybe be justified, but you have to be always really attentive to when you can use the ability. I think he's bad. I don't think they need to lower the time because it's completely horrible. It's a really high time for that kind of ability, and you can only cure 1. It's not that you can cure, I don't know, 5 or treat 10. It's just 1 patient. It's a really bad elite stuff. 600 diamonds. I think they need to fix him because he's really bad. If you're going to buy him, you have to have the exclusive equipment, because 10 minutes is just horrible. So yeah, I think that he's going to the bottom of the list in my opinion. 600 diamonds, you can buy 2 elite stuff, which are way better, or you can buy 1. You can buy BJ, which is the best elite stuff in my opinion. And yeah, Morgan, please avoid. I would rather have Nako and Adam than Morgan. He has 50 ability, 8 of charm, 40 efficiency, which is I think about the same as Yuki, because they are basically the same but opposite opposite work and gender. He has 140 max energy, which is awesome. He has a lot, and he starts with a skill of X-ray level 2. His special skill is the same as Yuki, and his exclusive equipment is the same as Yuki. So he's basically the same as Yuki, but a doctor instead of a nurse. I think he's really good. He's kind of cheap. I think he's 250 diamonds, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he's alright. He's nice. I think he's going to go the same as Yuki, because he's really cheap. He has a lot of efficiency, and I would recommend buying him in the early stages of the game. So Dr. Weird and Yuki are the ones I would buy if I'm starting the game. So yeah, they are a really good option. So I think he belongs to B tier, and in the same place as Yuki basically. Now we have Olivia. She has 70 ability, 4 of charm, 26 efficiency, and 115 max energy. Her special skill is the same as Dr. Squid. Her exclusive equipment ability is the same as Dr. Squid, but she's more expensive. She's 610 diamonds, which is really catastrophic. I think it's the most expensive elite stuff out there. And considering that, it's the same as Dr. Squid, but she's a nurse. The same as I said for Dr. Squid, it's useful in tier competition, union, whatever. Those are the competitions or places where you are going to participate the most. So basically, you are going to be using her and her ability a lot. But I think she's only useful in the late game. She is not useful in early game. I wouldn't recommend wasting 610 diamonds for Olivia in the early games, and even in mid game I would consider it. So yeah, I think she belongs to the same place as Dr. Squid. I mean, she's a little bit higher than the other ones because her ability and skill is nice. But yeah, I would avoid if I were a new player. Albert 1, I think, is another elite stuff that you should buy if you are starting out. He has 60 ability, 5 of charm, 25% efficiency, 999 max energy, and he starts with a skill on GP Office level 2, and he has the same ability as Florence 2, the same exclusive equipment as Florence 2, and yeah, I think he's awesome. I think he's 280 diamonds if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, he's really good. As I said with Florence 2, you are going to notice that the impact of Albert, because he will never rest, and you're going to see that. You will notice that. You will see how the rest of your stuff is wasting time recovering their energy, while Albert is still treating patients. And yeah, I think he's awesome. I would put him the same as Florence, maybe even higher, because he's cheaper, but he's a doctor, obviously different from Florence. But yeah, those two, Florence and Albert, I would definitely buy, and also Yuki and Dr. Weird if I were a new player. Karin. He has 70 ability, 10 charm, 20% efficiency, and 90 max energy. Average stats, basically. He costs 500 diamonds, which is a lot. His special skill is that he has a small chance to give a patient a bean, and it will cure the patient's bar completely. His exclusive equipment is that he will pour a cup of tea, and it will fill up the patient's warmth and water points. I think Karin is really good because of his special skill. Filling up the patient's cure bar completely is basically treating the patient, and yeah, it's a small chance, you have to consider that, but I think it's great still. So yeah, something that I would avoid if you're buying Karin is that the exclusive equipment you shouldn't buy. It's not necessary. It's actually, I think it's a worse version of the special skill. I think that exclusive equipment ability is basically wasting crystals, because warmth and water points, no, that's one of the attributes that you should never ever consider wasting something on, because you can have heaters, you can have drinking machines, and not wasting about 500 crystals or even more in an ability that is downright horrible. So yeah, apart from that, I think he belongs to A tier because the ability is great, but the exclusive equipment skill horrible. Now Aurora. She is a nurse, she has 65 ability, 7 of charm, 15% efficiency, and 120 max energy. Her special skill is that she will cast a balls of light that will cure the patient slowly, and for every 20 seconds the spell will give the patient 3% of Aurora's ability. I think she's really broken if you put her in reception, because that means that she is going to provide that special skill to every patient. That's amazing, basically. And her exclusive equipment is that instead of giving the patient 3% of Aurora's ability, it will be 4%. Not that noticeable. I think you should avoid exclusive equipment. If you want to have it, you can have it, but it's not necessary. For example, something necessary, it's Yutu with the exclusive equipment. That's a character or elite stuff that you need to have the exclusive equipment on. And Aurora is okay if you don't have the exclusive equipment. I think it's a waste of crystals if you her exclusive equipment, because it's not that noticeable, the difference between 3% and 4%. And well, she's for 500 diamonds. She's 500 diamonds, but I think they are diamonds well spent, and she's going to A tier. And yeah, if you put her in reception, she's completely broken. Okay, now Constantine. He has 70 ability, 6 of charm, 22 efficiency, and 115 max energy. Something interesting is that he's a nurse, so consider that. His special skill is that he will summon the patient waiting outside of the room he's working in. It's an okay ability, in my opinion. It's not that great, it's not that useful. Basically, for you to actually notice that ability, you would need to never put efficiency on Constantine. Why is that? Because if you want to use that special skill, then Constantine would need to waste a lot of time treating patients. Like, instead of doing them quickly, he would need to do it very slowly, which is actually bad for you. So yeah, that special skill is like something bad for you, not great. It's making you waste more time treating patients than actually that is giving you a benefit. It's basically harming your game. And his exclusive equipment is that he's going to be able to summon patients far away from the room. I mean, I saw Constantine in the game. I saw him. I tried to see how far he would teleport these patients, and it was really close. It wasn't that noticeable. So yeah, I think for 500 diamonds, he's really expensive. I think he belongs to C tier, because considering that Yuki and Dr. Weird, which are super cheap compared to Constantine, and they have way better ability, way better efficiency, way better everything. No, I think he belongs to C tier. I don't think he's great. Now Harley. She has 70 ability, 5 of charm, 25% efficiency, and 130 max energy. She is a nurse, and her special skill is that she will get triple the amount of money from patients when she's treating them, obviously. And her exclusive equipment is that instead of free, she will get 5 times the amount of money. Okay. And she has a skill of word level 1. Okay, this is a hard one to rate or to put in the tier list, because her special skill and exclusive equipment is only for money. Oh, I don't know. I think 380 diamonds just to get more money, it's not that great. If you buy Harley, you will need to put her in reception, so you get the most out of the ability. And I would get exclusive equipment if I can, because 3 times to 5 times is noticeable, but I think you're wasting crystals if you are getting that exclusive equipment, and I think you are buying an elite stuff, which is not that great. I think it's way more useful than Nako and Adam. I think she has a better ability than Morgan, because she has no cooldown. So I think she belongs to the bottom of C tier. I would avoid her if you can. She might be useful for you, but if you need the money, but then it's not, because basically Harley is like having a greedy power up, but instead of being 200%, it's 3 times, but only for the patients that go through reception, and only when she's treating them. So yeah, I think it's not good. compared to other elite stuff. Now Ailsa. She's a cleaner, so we have no other way to compare her because there is no other elite stuff that you can buy who is a cleaner. She has 0 ability, obviously, because she's a cleaner. 8 of charm, 100 efficiency, which is awesome for a cleaner, and 130 max energy. Basically, with her, now you can waste or put every attribute into max energy because she already has 100% efficiency. So she's going to clean that garbage in less than a second or in a second, and then you can make her have more energy so she can go less to the staff room to recover that energy. So yeah, I think Ailsa is amazing for a cleaner. She's the best cleaner you can buy because there is no other one. But comparing to the normal cleaners, she is awesome, and her special skill is that she will use her magic broomstick to instantly clean up garbage, which is completely broken and awesome also. And her special skill is her exclusive equipment is that when she cleans garbage, she has a 10% chance to clean all of the garbage that in the section she is in, which I think is another broken ability. I think Ailsa is not a priority because she's a cleaner, but if you already have bought some elite stuff and you need a cleaner very desperately because the normal ones are not doing it for you, I think Ailsa is a B tier, is actually very very good. The only problem is that I can't compare her with another elite stuff because there is no other elite stuff who is a cleaner, but she is awesome. Now we have Watson. He's a doctor, he has 62 ability, 5 of charm, 15% efficiency and 100 max energy. He starts with the skill of level 3 in GP office. His special skill is that instead of getting the normal experience for treating patients, he will get 2 times that. And his exclusive equipment is that instead of 2 times, it will be 3 times. Okay, Watson is nice if you, for example, are trying to level up him, or if you're trying to get an elite staff that will level up on his own really quickly. That's a good reason for buying him. He costs 500 diamonds, which is not cheap, but yeah, I think he has better ability than other ones. He has a better ability than other ones, but it's hard to compare because he's the only one which his ability directly works with the experience of the elite stuff. So yeah, I would put him in a B tier because he's okay, he's good, but not recommended for new players. I think Watson is an between mid and late game elite stuff to buy, unless you buy him in early game, then he will get lots of experience and will level up quickly, but I would prioritize other elite stuff. Okay, Geum. She has 85 ability, which is a lot, 8 of charm, 20 efficiency and 100 max energy. She starts with a skill of level 2, for disinfection. And Jang Geum, I think, is a great character. Her special skill, whenever she levels up, she will get 1.5 times the normal ability. So instead of plus 10 ability, she will get 15, which is awesome. And her exclusive equipment, instead of 1.5, it will be 1.6. I think it's a really good character or elite stuff, but something to consider is that if you're buying her, you need, please, to put the exclusive equipment as soon as possible. So with Jang Geum, it's necessary to have the exclusive equipment because you're going to lose lots of ability points if you are not upgrading the exclusive equipment. And in the easier levels, which are in the early levels, which are easier to upgrade because later on will the elite staff will need lots of experience to level up. Yeah, it's better to have the exclusive equipment as soon as you buy her. And she's rather expensive. She's 550 diamonds. So I think Jang Geum is a very mid to late game character. But she's really good. Her ability is really nice. It's noticeable, the ability points, and then you can put some of the attributes of the equipment into efficiency and then ability. So yeah, I think it's amazing. So I'll put her in A tier because she's really good. Okay, now we have Tsunade. She has 60 ability, 8 of charm, 25 efficiency, 110 max energy, and she's a doctor, which is something really important. She starts with the skill of level 2 in operating room, and Tsunade, her special skill is that every time she treats 10 patients, she will be able to treat patients instantly in the next 30 minutes. Okay, that ability is really costly. Why? Because if you already have 100% efficiency, treating patients instantly will be basically having no skill. Because with 100 efficiency, you already treat the patients instantly. And having the special skill of treating patients instantly, it's like having nothing basically, because you already do that, and the special skill is adding nothing. So what you want with Tsunade, I think, is putting everything into efficiency and then getting a use for the special skill. So basically you want your patients to get stuck when she's treating them, which is something confusing because you would want to treat the patients as fast as possible, but if you do that, then the special skill has no use. Then you might say, why did I buy Tsunade if I already have 100 efficiency? Yeah, it's very confusing. And then her exclusive equipment is that she can always treat patients instantly, and that is a nice skill, because instead of putting the equipment and attributes towards efficiency, now you can put it towards ability, which is really important. I think with Tsunade you need to have the exclusive equipment. I think it's really game changing. It changes the elite stuff a whole lot. 450 diamonds for Tsunade is kinda expensive, considering the special skill is useless in my opinion. So yeah, I think she belongs to C tier. Hua Tuo, which he has 85 ability, 8 of charm, 20 efficiency, 100 max energy, and he starts with a level 2 skill in acupuncture. His special skill is the same as Geum. His exclusive equipment is the same as Geum. So he's basically the male and doctor version of Geum. He's the same as Geum, 550 diamonds, and it works the same as Geum. So basically what I said for Geum is the same for Hua Tuo. If you're going to buy Hua Tuo, you should always get the exclusive equipment as soon as possible in the early levels, because the earlier you get it, the more you are going to get out of the elite stuff leveling up. So yeah, he belongs to A tier. Really good elite stuff. We have Hakim. She has 61 ability, 7 of charm, 15% efficiency, and 110 max energy. She costs 450 diamonds, and she is a nurse. Her special skill is that she has a 20% chance to provide a soul barrier to patients that will make them not lose mood, and if they have additional symptoms, will make it so that their disease points don't increase. I think Hakim is really rather conflicting. It's really conflicting because her special skill is not that useful and noticeable. As I said, mood and charm is something that you don't really need in an elite stuff. So yeah, the special skill is really bad, and the exclusive equipment is that instead of a 20%, it's a 30%. Okay, ignore the exclusive equipment. The 30% rather than 20% is completely horrible. Useless exclusive equipment ability. Waste of 500 crystals or more, or I don't remember how much is it, but it's more than 500 crystals. So yeah, a waste basically of 500 crystals. If you're going to buy Hakim, don't buy the exclusive equipment ability, just have the special skill, and I would put her in reception. Why? Because then you can have that soul barrier, and you can have that given to every patient. You can give that to every patient. But yeah, I would avoid her if you can. If you want to buy her, if you like mood, and if you have problems with patients with additional symptoms increasing their disease points, that's a reason to buy her. But I think she belongs to C tier. Yeah, C tier. She's right there with the abilities and everything. So yeah, that's the tier list. If you have any questions, if you would change anything, you can comment it below. And this is my opinion, as I said, my recommendations. And yeah,